Good morning, everybody. I'm Lawrence. Welcome. Today is October 11, 2021, and is the first day that I will begin documenting my trading journey. So I have a few longs for today and only a scant number of shorts. Today it looks like the market was mostly gapping up in the energy sector. And here we go. Pretty much just looking around to see what starts shaking out in the morning. TCOM looked like it had a little breakout here setting up, but nope, it's about to give it all up. I was putting in my entry order, watching it, but then it starts to come back and unfortunately takes out the stop that I wanted to, and we're going to move on from here. I'm just adjusting some of my orders for the day for some of the swing positions. I'll probably be releasing a YouTube video on that later this week or the weekend. We're just going to watch some of the morning action. Honestly, nothing really sets up. There's only one trade I took today. A lot of things I was watching. I was watching SoFi take off like a rocket, but there's no entry. PDD was a gap up and it started to retest the high day of Friday. But it's not something you can really short or take long in this case, so you just kind of watch it as it slowly either bleeds or pops up, but it's not something that you would trade on a day like this. Highly on consideration, but very choppy and messy. Easy to get whipped out of as volume surges in. Yeah, I was giving a lot of consideration, trying to justify it to myself, but it's just hard to take, unfortunately. CF, something I liked initially, but it doesn't really rest long enough for me to take it. So a lot of times you just watch things take off. But right now we're going to fast forward to, or we're going to skip to the trade that I actually did take on CNQ, which is I think Canadian Natural Resources. But here it is. Alright, so all I'm doing here is setting up my lines. This is the range of which I'm really willing to trade this in. So it's touched 40.97 a few times now, and I'm pretty interested if it breaks over that line, just because it's happened so many times. Comparing it to the energy sector, XLE, it had relative strength, setting my stop loss somewhere under the 40.67 area, depending. As it puts a pretty big red bar in right now, I'm trying to see if it will hold up compared to the XLE. If it does, it puts in another pivot there. That's where my new stop loss will be. And now I'm just readjusting my share size. My risk level right now is about $8 per trade. And if I hit 1R on that, I'll take off half my position, and then I will try to let it run up to 2R. When it hits the 1R, I will move up my stop loss to break even, so that essentially I lock in that $40 gain, and then if it runs up another R, I'll close out 120 on that one trade. So right now I'm just checking my other stocks that I'm going to trade it into, but here is just essentially the only stock that we're going to be watching right now intently. Unfortunately, that is a lot of trading where you just watch a lot. Here's another trade that was somewhat interesting, WMB, but just kind of choppy. Now I'm just clearing up my gap list for the morning to things I'm really interested in. Once things don't seem to shake out too much, I'm not interested in entering that much anymore. And it looks like we are holding strength compared to XLE, the energy ETF. And it's about to pop up. I have my stop loss set at 40.70, or should be 40.69, one of those. And I should have a stop limit order of 40.98 to 40.99, maybe 41. If I gave it 2 pennies of spread to get filled on. It looks like we're about to get triggered in. The things you really like about this is that despite gapping up after so many green bars in a row, if you look at the Friday chart, it pretty much goes up in the first hour of the day and then just consolidates out for the rest of the rest of Friday essentially. So it's not super extended from Friday. And now I am officially triggered into the trade at 40.98, so only about 1 penny slip. And then we'll just we'll see where it goes. And as you see here, we are just about to hit our first target, and there it is. We closed half an R, which is about $40. Unfortunately, it's not all that much right now, but that is the rules. $40 closed. We've moved our stop loss up to our entry point, aka break even, and now we're going to try to let the stock run up to our second target, which is 2R. In hindsight, this would have been smart to move this to just under the $0.50, simply because the average trading range is about $1.25. So $1.25 from where the low day would have been 41.50-ish, and psychologically speaking, the $0.50 is just somewhere where a lot of people will buy and sell a lot of their securities or stocks. So trying to break through a $0.50 when it's already kind of used up a lot of its juice for the day is daunting. And as you'll see, it's not going to break that $0.50 at all. Oh, and there was one more stock I was interested in today. It was Suncorp SU. It's also in the energy ETF area. Um, it's very similar to CNQ in the way that it had a Friday where it moved up a good amount in the first hour of the day and kind of consolidated out for the rest of the Friday, and now it's gapping up again. This one is putting a pretty big red candle to begin the day off with. Now it's coming up, breaking above high day and putting in a little consolidation near the top, right near a whole dollar. So my thinking is if it breaks the whole dollar or breaks that 0.98 area where all that selling pressure is, then I'm interested in it. And if it holds the bottom here, but it is having some relative strength to the energy sector, but unfortunately it's running out of juice, right? It's almost about noon at this point, and this is where a lot of the big traders are out at lunch, and not a lot of people are sitting here waiting to enter this stock now, which is the same reason why my risk for this trade is only half my usual risk unit, which is just $40 instead of the $80, because at this point in time I'm not sure if there's going to be enough volume at this point in the day to actually get me to where I need to go. So I'm watching this trade touch 0.98 again, and that's a good thing for me because I like that it's touching again. I'm not willing to put an entry order right now because I don't want to get falsely triggered in, which looks like what is happening right now is that a lot of selling pressure starts coming up at the 0.98 area. It's a good thing for me because if it holds this range and then starts testing the 0.98 area again, then I have more confidence that a lot of sellers are going to be trapped there and that they're going to have to buy the cover essentially if it breaks this $24 area. But yeah, right now we're just going to watch it again, and unfortunately, as you're going to see, it just kind of rolls over the rest of the day because the SPY puts in a couple big red candles in addition to the energy sector putting in some big red candles. This will not hold its range, but that's something that I would be looking for. So like on a day that the SPY and the energy sector went green at this point, this would definitely take off. Well, not definitely, but there's a high probability that this would have taken off and hit target as well. But it's just, this is the only second trade that I was looking at for the day. And as you just saw, the SPY and the energy sector just put in some big red candles, and it's about to drag down Suncorp's out of this range. I had set my bracket order previously, but now that it's going to break this lower range, I'm not going to be interested in it anymore. And that just shows you that even though things have relative strength, initially, once the larger sector starts to, come into a lot of selling pressure or buying pressure, the stock is most likely going to follow the sector, and sometimes even the larger market as well. So, yep, SU no longer a viable trade, and we are not watching it anymore. Unfortunately, because CNQ is also in the energy sector, it's getting dragged down, and we are going to get stopped out here at break even. And on a better day in the energy sector, I'm somewhat confident that we would probably hit our second target, but we definitely would at least stay in the upper range of where we were trading instead of coming all the way back down to break even. But, a win's a win either way. We didn't lose any money today. We made about half an hour, and, that's just, that's how it happens sometimes. And there we go, closing out a break even, taking in just shy of $40. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Comment, tell me what you guys saw today, what you traded today, and if you want to keep following me, subscribe for more. Thank you so much.